For the next exercise, we are going to continue with our music player example and then enhance the user interface of the music player example by adding a few more elements to the screen. First, we will add a image view here so that in case the song MP3 file has some album art enclosed in it, we'll be able to display the album art on the screen. In addition, down below here we'll include a seek bar so that this seek bar will display the progress of the song as it is being played. In addition, I'll be able to use the seek bar to seek to any position on the song and then continue to play out from the new position on the song. So, and in addition, I'll also display the completed time for the currently playing song and the remaining time for the song on the two ends of the screen here. So to do that, let's open our layout screen, go to main.xml and then open the layout screen. Now you see that this particular linear layout is positioned right there. Let's give it an ID and then we'll label it as ID layout playlist. Okay, and then we will position we'll position it just below song title, and then the margin currently is set to 28 dp. I will remove the margin so that it is tightly positioned just below the song title there. Now, next, what I will do is to drag in a image view to be positioned right below the layout playlist, and then for the image view I will select this particular image to be displayed on the screen. That can be replaced in the code by the album art for the particular song being played. Okay, but this would be the default image that will be displayed on the screen. This image view, now let me label this image view as let's call it song image. So I will label it as song image, and then it is positioned just below layout playlist, and then the margins are 0, so it is right below that. So we have enough space here to include the completed time and the remaining time, and also a seek bar on the screen here. So now that I have positioned the image view there, the next thing that I'm going to drag in is a linear layout. The linear layout will help me to position the completed time and the remaining time for the song at the two ends of the linear layout. So I will need a horizontal linear layout right below image view. Okay, so this is this one has been okay. I have to label this as song image. Okay, and then this linear layout now is going to be positioned right below song image. And for this, the layout parameters, the width would be to width, I would label it as fill parent, and the height would be wrap content, and also for me the margins, so that the text is positioned nicely, not towards the edge of the screen. I'll give a short margin on two ends of this linear layout. I'll give a 20 dp margin on the left, and then also a 20 DP margin on the right so that the linear layout is nicely positioned. Now into this linear layout, I'm going to drag in two text views so that I can display the completed time and the remaining time. Now this linear layout, I'm going to give it an ID of name timer display. Okay. I'll name it as timer display. Okay, now to this linear layout, I'm going to add in two text views. So I will bring in the first text view and then add it to the linear layout. This text view, I will label it as song current duration label. And then for the width, I would say fill parent, so that this text view basically fills parents. And then for the weight, I will give it a weight of 1. And then also the gravity for this, I will set the gravity to left. Okay, so this text view is positioned on the left side. Now I will drag in one more text view to this linear layout. And then I would label this one's as song remaining duration label. And then the width, I will, okay, let's save the name, and then the width, I will put it as fill parent. Okay, and so now what happens is, because this one also is given a weight of 1, so that means that these two will basically end up positioning themselves right next to each other to fill the parent. Now this text view, I will position its gravity to the right so that it appears on the right side. So I will position this text view with its gravity to the right. Now let's also try and set the text style to bold so that it's a bit more strongly visible on the screen. So we'll set the text style of both of these to bold so that it's nice, boldly visible on the screen. So these two text views, this one, the left one will display the current completed time of the current song. The right one will display the remaining time of the current song. So these two text views are now positioned nicely on the screen. And then now, let me make sure that I have the labels correctly. Now down below this, I will bring in a seek bar. So the seek bar, I will bring in right below the text view. Okay, and the seek bar also, let me label the seek bar as song progress bar, song progress bar. And the layout parameters, I will, so this is right below the timer display. and the width should be, okay, let's save the name. The width should be, let's say, fill parent, and then we will also give it a margin of 20 dp on the left side and 20 dp on the right side, so that this and the text view on top will coincide with each other on the screen, so that it's nice and clean looking display on the screen. So with this update to the user interface, we will now save the user interface. Let's run the music player and see what it looks like on the screen. Obviously, it's not going to do anything much on the screen at this moment because we haven't included the appropriate ways of updating these onto the screen. So, but just in any case, let's see what the layout looks like on the screen when you display it within the within the emulator. Now, so as you can see, you now have the nice design of the screen with the two text views and so on, and then you have the progress bar. Now, so obviously, this progress bar is not doing anything on the screen other than being dragged left and right. Now, what we would like to do is to have this progress bar move slowly to indicate the progress of the amount of song that has been completed. In addition, I would be able to click on the progress bar and reposition it to any location on the screen and then let the song begin to play from that point onwards. Okay, and in addition, this progress bar should automatically update itself at regular intervals when the song is playing, but when the song is stopped, the progress bar should be left at its current position or reset back to 0 as appropriate. Okay, so now that we have fixed up the user interface, obviously, in order to be able to update this user interface, we have to go and change the code inside musicactivity.java. Now, first and foremost, when you go to musicactivity.java, in here, I need to be able to implement for the seek bar, whenever there is any change to the seek bar, I want to be able to recognize that the seek bar value has been changed appropriately and then reflect this in terms of making changes to the screen, to the song position. So I will add in the appropriate listener for the seek bar. So to do this, I will type in seek bar on so seek bar on seek bar change listener basically adds in the code to respond in case you go to the seek bar and then move anything on the seek bar by clicking on the button and moving it left and right. So that is going to be implemented by seek bar on seek bar change listener. So obviously you will see the cross there. We need to appropriately import the seek bar. To be able to do that, I should import in here, import android.widget.seekbar. So when I do that, then I would notice that the seek bar is properly accepted, but it then tells me that I need to add unimplemented methods. So let me click on the add unimplemented methods, and then you would notice that the stub code will appear at the bottom. We'll go back and fix this stub code to appropriately handle the changes to the seek bar. Now, in addition, first and foremost, I should be able to get references to the seek bar and the time values and so on the screen. So to do that, what I would do within the code is to go in and declare a few variables that will allow me to get access to those the seek bar and the two text views on the screen. So to do that, I will add in right there private seek bar sound progress bar. That's what I named it. So text view completion time and the remaining time. So these two I should be updating within the code somewhere. So first and foremost, in the onCreate method, I need to be able to get references to these seek bar and sound progress bar. So let me go ahead and get the references to those two out here. Add in the references to here. So I would say song progress bar equal to, this is standard things that we would have seen earlier. Find view by rd, r.id, and then I should see the song progress bar. So I get a reference to the seek bar. So let me type in get reference to the seek bar completion time and remaining time text views. Okay, so now when I get a reference to the seek bar, I would set the maximum value. Now typically this can be set to any value, but I set it to 100, indicating that 100%. So I'm using this number as interpreting this number as a percentage value. So 100 equals to the complete song being played. Anything in between would be that fraction of the song, the percentage of the song that has been played out already. So in addition, I need to set the on seek bar change listener. I'm going to declare that at the bottom, so I'm going to say on seek bar change listener this. Then completion time text view r.id completion time song current duration label, and remaining time would be text view, again find view by ID. So this would be song remaining duration label. Okay, so now I have access to these items on the screen, and I have already set up the values there. Now, to be able to update these at regular intervals, I need access to a handler. So I will declare a handler in here. I will say handler. We have already seen the use of handlers in the previous exercise when we did the multi-threading. So it's exactly the same handler that I'm bringing in here. Okay, so I have set up these values. Now, in addition, what I am going to do is to set up song progress bar Now, my player, if I ask player progress, that will indicate to me what the current progress of the player is at any given point of time. So I would have created the player already earlier in the earlier part of the code, so it's okay to reference that value and the completion time. The set text another method that is available in the player completed time, and then remaining time. I would set the text to a dash plus remaining time. So I will initialize the song progress bar at this point based on the values of information that I get from the screen. Okay. Now, in addition, if at this point I land up and see that the player is playing, then I would be asking it to update the song progress. Now, in order to be able to update the screen appropriately to reflect the progress of the song as we go along and so on, so I need to make use of the handler. So earlier we have already seen how we can make use of handlers. So for a handler, you can post a runnable to a handler, and then that will basically execute whatever needs to be done on the screen. So I will add in a few extra methods down below here in order to help me to deal with those things. So I will add in one method here called as public update song progress. Okay. Now in here, I would say song progress update, and delay specified in milliseconds is 500 milliseconds. So basically, in here, the song progress update, I'm going to define it later. That will be a runnable that I'm going to define a little bit later. In addition, when it starts running, I would say player button. I would set the player button to image pause when it is being updated. So I will just copy that code and paste it here. Okay, now this is complaining about the fact that the song progress update is not defined here. So I will have to create that. So what is song progress update going to do? This is a runnable object that I need to create. private runnable. We have already seen how you have to create runnables in okay, sorry, I think I've missed a okay. Now, so I am declaring a runnable here. So we have already seen in the thread handlers how to declare runnables. Now, whenever I declare a runnable, I need to implement one method, which is the run method. Now, inside the run method, I'm going to appropriately declare the code that is going to be run whenever this particular runnable is run by the handler. So I would say initialize the progress bar and the text views So we need to modify the progress bar, but we can do it only from the UI thread, right? To update anything on the UI thread, we know that we can make use of the handler. So in here, I'm going to do the appropriate code in order to update the handler. So earlier, I had written down this particular piece of code that allows me to update the progress bar and so on. So I'm going to copy that code and then come down here and then include it inside the run method here. So basically, song progress bar, set progress, player progress, completion time, and the remaining time obtained from the player. Now, once I have done the update, I want to be able to come back and do the update one more time every 500 milliseconds. So that's why I'm going to do post delayed, and then the runnable would be song, the same thing, and then the delay would be 500 milliseconds. So every time this runnable runs, it's going to execute this piece of three statements and then post a copy of itself into the runnable. So that way, every 500 milliseconds, the screen will be updated automatically to reflect the change in the text view in there. Now, when the song is paused or reset, I want to abandon the update of the screen. So in order to do that, I will also include cancel update song progress. Now this method I'm going to use to cancel any updates. So to do that, I can use the method for the handler saying remove callbacks. Okay, remove callbacks. Basically meaning all the callbacks that I have for the handler that have been already scheduled of the type song progress update. I just want to delete them so that it's going to not update. And then at the moment when I cancel the progress, that means that my player is going to be either in the paused state or in the reset state. So I need to change the image resource for the play button to play. So that's what I'm going to do inside cancel song progress. So let me type in the code here. Cancel all already in the handler queue. So if there are any delayed runnables that are posted in the handler queue, it will be basically gotten rid of at this point. Okay, so that's the point of doing cancel updates on progress, and then you will be setting the button to true. So here again, I would say schedule another update 500 milliseconds later. So the song progress update will every time it executes, it's going to schedule another version of itself onto the handler by using this particular method. Now, what I need to do inside the code is to be able to respond and then make use of these within the code in order to schedule appropriate updates at different points in time. Now, first and foremost, when I go back up here, I notice that whenever it is in the ready state or the running state and so on inside this update method here, so anytime I move to the ready state, I want to be able to set the song progress values and then wait for the song to continue playing. So I'm going to, when I reach the ready state, I will do one single update of the items for the progress bar. Single update there. Okay. Similarly, when I pause, I want to do exactly the same thing also one more time here. The same code. And I would cancel update song progress. This cancel update song progress I should also do when I stop or reset. Now, when I start playing, I want to be able to update song progress. So I'm going to add here update song progress for the play. For the remaining ones, when I stop, I should cancel the song progress. Okay. Now, obviously, I am doing inside the cancel song progress and inside the update song progress, I'm already setting the button to pause or button to play. So I don't really need to do this in this particular locations because they are being executed by those methods. So I'm going to remove them from all these cases and then leave it there. Now, in addition, when I first begin running, okay, in case when I create the activity, in case my song is currently playing, I would still want to if it is playing, then I would say update song progress. Okay. Now, with this change, I would be able to now see that my updates to the screen with adding these new features will start working properly. So let's go ahead and run the code and then watch how the seek bar and the text views are used in updating the screen. So let's see when the music player starts out, you notice that the two time values are appropriately set. So when you start playing the song, you notice that the completion time and the remaining time are now being updated on the screen appropriately. And then also the seek bar is periodically updating itself to show the progress of the song as it is playing. Now, so this part is working fine, but if I try to drag, it doesn't work. Okay, so the seek bar changes I have not implemented yet. Okay, so this drag and release mechanism has to be supported in the code. Now notice that I had included the code for the seek bar listener, but I did not type in anything into the code. So this has been left blank there. So now I'm going to go and fill in the code in here for each of these so that I can appropriately handle the movement of the seek bar. Now, on progress changed, I don't need to handle that. I can just leave it as such. So on start tracking touch. Now this method will be called the moment I hold and touch the button down and or press and hold the button, then on start tracking will be called. Now when I move the seek bar to a new location and then release my finger, then at that point the on stop tracking touch will be called. Now these should be active only under circumstances when my song is currently playing. So in order to be able to do that, when I start tracking touch, inside here I would simply cancel update song progress. Okay, so basically user touch the seek bar. So when the user touches, you have to stop updating. Now, when you stop tracking touch, at this point, you would now when the user moves and then releases his finger at the new location, you want to be able to get that new location and then be able to reposition the song to start beginning to play from the new location. So to help us do that, I have implemented this new method called as reposition, and then the value supplied in the reposition is the percentage value of the duration for which that seek bar has been moved. So to get that, I would say seek bar Now, what did I name the seek bar in here? I named it the song progress bar there. So now, but this seek bar is coming in as an argument here. So I would I would just pick up that seek bar coming in, and then I will say seek bar get progress. Okay, so that will help me to reposition the seek bar to the, so notice that the specific seek bar which is being touched is coming in as a parameter to this method. So I'm going to reposition that appropriately and then say update. I have moved to the new location, so and then I begin playing the song again. So I would say update song progress. Inside this reposition method that I've implemented in the player, when I supply it with a particular value, then the song will be repositioned to that new location. The song will start playing from that new location. So adding in this little piece of code here, now the seek bar becomes active, and then it is able to respond to the user touches. So let's execute the code and test it again to see how it works at this point. So getting back to the running of the code on the screen on the in the emulator, you see now the song playing. Now when I click on the play button, the song starts playing. Now I can simply hold it down on the seek bar, position it to a new location, and then it moves to the new location and starts playing from the new location onwards. And then I can position backwards if you want, and then move forwards. And then when the song completes playing, it will automatically have to reposition itself to its original value. Okay? Now, if the song is playing, the playlist still works fine, still works exactly the same way. So now when I select another song, the seek bar will be positioned appropriately, and I'll be able to reposition to any location and then go on from the pointer. I can go back and then be able to select another song and then come back to the screen and so on. So that completes the next part of the update to the music player. So using the seek bar to improve the user interface to add some new functionality to our music player. So with that, we complete this section